I bet you weren't expecting that. Welcome back to the Monkey Table. It's been some time, about a year or so, but your girl was busy emigrating and all that, so you can imagine I was a bit tied up and busy. So, for all of my recent viewers and as well my old faithful subscribers, you might be wondering why the voiceover? You don't speak in your videos, you just write. I mean, that's true, but I kind of realized recently that, I can't really explain everything I want in subtitles. That's number one. Number two, it's just the views aren't cutting it, so maybe bring out the old boombox might help, but yeah. I don't think I'm going to do a voiceover for every single video I do from now on, mainly because my voice is horrendous and you guys do not deserve to be subject to it. And, it just kind of depends on the mood. I think some videos don't really need a voiceover, but for this one, let me just try it and see how it goes. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. So this is my repaint of Anastasia. I've been planning this repaint for like a good 6 years and executing it for another 6 years and finishing the video for like 10 years more. So like I've gone beyond the bounds of time for this project. But it's done, it's dusted, so let's do it. So here you can see the doll. I mean, she's a pretty basic doll. You got the nice face mold, you got some accessories like the locket and the hat. Like, I kind of like her details, to be honest. I think she looks pretty nice. She has her dog and like the hat and the scarf and the little locket and stuff and the belt. Like, to be honest, this doll's pretty good. Like, much better than most recent dolls we have nowadays, but still. I really like the details of the box as well, the character cutouts, also the way things are placed, and as well as that, just the placement of the hands and the feet, etc. I think it's very detailed, it's very creative and imaginative. And now let's unbox her. Yoink! The dog has to come too. I mean, we can't go anywhere with the dog, come on. And the hat, can't forget that too. Can we just admire the background of the box for a second? Like, this is the Winter Palace and looks fucking amazing. I love it. Oh yeah, by the way, I might be dropping some F-bombs and all that stuff here and then. I'm sorry, that's just the way I am. Sometimes I might curse. But the videos are not for kids. I make that clear, so if you got any kiddies here, you might want to take them away from the screen because this is about to get extreme. Here is the doll out of the box. She is wearing her hobo outfit. I mean, her orphanage outfit. You know what I mean. It's pretty nice. Basically, big, manky shirt that's all ripped to pieces, and her fancy locket, and the belt, and the tights, and the shoes. You can see the head turns 360 degrees, which is very nice, and the face mold is pretty good. The face itself isn't bad, but it could be a bit better as always. The outfit, I really like the details. I like the buttons, I like the locket. I like that the string is actually pretty shiny and gold, so it makes it even better. The hair isn't bad, but it's a bit stuck with glue, so that will need to be washed and dealt with. The rooting is pretty good, and she's got quite a lot of hair, and even though the hairstyle is matted up a bit due from age, it's actually pretty good and movie accurate, which I really like. She also has her belt with the gold buckle. Ooh, that's very bougie, nice touch. And also the shirt is ripped for the extra hobo touch. The shoes are very nice, like she got the shoelaces and everything. That's pretty good. And here's the doll butt naked, so you can see she has articulation in the waist. She can kind of do some funky dance move and turn her torso 360 degrees. The hands can also move this way, but at the elbow, they don't bend, they kind of twist. I'm not really sure why it's done that way, but it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, it's like this. The legs can bend, kind of. They have a wire in them. The torso, as you can see again, it can bend like this. And if you haven't seen her enough, here's more shots of her butt naked. Can we just admire the structure of the ass? I mean, that's a lot of ass. Also, she can bend like this. And then you have the shoes. I love these shoes. These shoes are not only movie accurate, which is already a bonus for me, but they have them shoelaces. Look at them. That is amazing. That's insane. And then we have the black tights, which are very nice. They're not very scratchy, but they're kind of good. The hat, like it has the details and everything. It's so pretty. Yeah, very nice hat. It also has the elastic at the end, so you can put on her head easily. And we also have the scarf, which is made from this nice kind of woolen material, I guess. And then we also have the hobo shirt with the locket that comes attached with a string, which I don't really like, but I will deal with that later. The sleeves, very nice. Overall, very movie accurate, which I like. For me, guys, if you know me, everything has to be as accurate as possible. Everything has to be movie accurate. Like for me, accuracy is number one. That's just the way it's always gonna be. She also comes with her pet dog. I forgot his name, sorry little guy, but yeah, he's pretty cute. The painting is, the details is super, like look, he even has little paws, like that is so cute, come on. He's amazing. Now I love this accessory. We also have the bougie locket, you know, for yourself, so it's very pretty and it's like gold and stuff. Then on the bottom, as you can see, it has "Together in Paris" written on it, so it's like super movie accurate. Another bonus point. And it has also this thing to help you attach it across your neck, if you can open it, of course, but yeah, pretty nice accessory overall. Yeah, I like it. And you can open the locket as well. It has a picture of Anastasia, which fell off because it was so old, so I just glued it back on like this. Pop, in you go. Perfect. Come on, a little more. Super. And it also has a space for you to stick a photo of somebody you love in, like, I don't know, a triple cheeseburger or Gordon Ramsay. Like, I don't judge. It just depends on you. And now we start with the repaint. So I usually, ooh, that's pretty nice. Look at that. Whole eye came off. Nice. I usually just start with removing the paint by using a nail polish remover until the face is completely gone like this. Then for this case, I also washed her hair because it was super gluey. And even after the wash, it was still full of glue, like a bad Monster High doll. So I just kind of decided, you know what, let me just put some baby powder up on this bitch and like use my brush to brush it out because I'm not dealing with this today. So here's me with my fancy Rapunzel brush. I brushed out the hair and you can see already how smooth and more soft and shiny it became after I brushed out all the grease. And you can see already the hair is more soft and bouncy. It's much better. Styling the hair was an absolute bitch, but I am lucky that the manufacturers were kind enough to already kind of section the hair into parts for me. So all I had to do essentially was to section this cleaned hair back into the parts they were in initially, then tie it back like this into this big ponytail, I guess that's what it is that she has, and secure it with an elastic string while also having all the other sections secured by, you know, the bobby pins and all this stuff. And also I did take 2 strands of hair to tie around the ponytail because as you can see on her hairstyle, the tie for the ponytail is like a piece of her hair, I guess. So that's what I did. I just took 2 pieces of her hair and just tied it around like this. And yeah, that was her hair. I also used some gel to slick it down. And then I started sketching on the details. As usual, I usually sketch on the details with like a dark brown pencil, so that's what I did in this case. I also changed her body for a Cinderella Disney doll body because I like articulation and the OG body just wasn't doing it for me, you know? I then started putting in some white paint for the eyes and the teeth. That's how I usually start, like, you know, my process is put on the details, then add the whites of the eyes and the teeth. And here is the doll 1 year later. So basically, after I successfully, I guess, immigrated and assimilated and acquired some dwelling, I finally fished this doll out and said, you know what, I need to finish her. And straight away, I was not happy with her. The hair, it was very stiff with the gel. I did not like that. The body as well, the skin tone did not match the skin tone of the face. And the face as well was not that good. So what did I do? I whipped out the good old sketchbook and I started sketching on some details of Anastasia's mug so I can understand how to fucking draw her details, because this was insane. As you can see, I was doing some details of the eyes and also the face and the brows. I mean, sometimes, you just have to go back to the basics. If you're having difficulties deciding or sketching on some details onto dolls, which is quite difficult because they're a 3D object and drawing is a 2D object largely, so there's a big fucking difference. So I just, I sketched on some faces of Anastasia, some of her eyes, just to figure out how exactly I was going to draw the face of this doll. And you know what? It was actually a very good thing because I finally got the gist of what I wanted to do. And I finally managed to understand how I would sketch her details. So it was a good exercise in total, and just a good opportunity for me as well to practice my drawing skills. Especially I focused on the eyes because for me that eyes are always a bit of a weak spot for me, and this case was no exception. I wasn't really sure how to draw her eyes because they're a very specific shape. I mean, I knew I wanted to have her do a side glance from the very beginning, but I wasn't sure exactly how to draw the details of the eyes, like the eyebrows, the eyelashes. They're very specific because they're done in Dumblot's very original style, so they're very unique to her and you really have to figure out how to get them correct. Then I started painting on the lips. You can see it looks shite right now, but that's basically the story of all my dolls and projects. They look shite at first, but then they kind of look less shite as time goes by. At least I hope. I also did decide to make her eyelids a bit darker because if you go and look at pictures of Anastasia in the internet, you will see that her eye, it's like she's wearing a bit of eyeshadow, I guess. But yeah, her eyelids are a bit darker. And the eyelashes themselves were the most difficult part because of their shape and because of how kind of thin they are. Like I had to whip out the extra skinny brush and my hands were shaking so much because of this. Honestly, I had a lot of issues with this doll and wasn't happy for a long time, but you can see at this point where it kind of started to shift, and slowly I began to see the vision and saw her actually becoming coherent. Oh, so I got some on the nose. Oops. I mean, guys, I literally removed her eyes like 6 or 7 times. I'm not joking. Like I was just so unhappy with them. I was just erase them or add more details and they would become even worse. But eventually I just got to a point where I said, you know what, you need to just stop because if you go any further, you're gonna make it worse. It's good enough as it is. And so I kind of stopped at this halfway point where I felt I was happy enough with the doll that I didn't want to make more drastic changes, and I felt she was quite movie accurate. And I just finished off by adding a few details like, the nose lines, the eyes, adding some of that blush and stuff like that. And of course, because I like to make my life more difficult for myself in every way I can, I decided to also make her hobo gloves, because why not? Honestly, I'm not a seamstress. I have no idea how sewing works, and you can see this from my pathetic attempts at making the stencil for the gloves. Like, I was not ready for this, but I say, you know what, I gotta start someday and let this be the day. You can probably see from my vain attempts to create something that I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, but that's fine by me because that's how you start learning things. You just try them and don't know what the fuck you're doing. One day you're gonna learn. Also, I had the genius idea that I was gonna make her fingerless gloves. Fingerless gloves for a fucking doll that's like 12 inches tall. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make fingerless gloves for her. Like, it's not that difficult. I'm gonna sew them together. Then I realized I can't sew them together because they're too small. So I was like, I'm gonna glue them together. And then I realized that doesn't work as well. So what I did was what I should have done from the beginning. I took two pieces, glued them together, then cut off the top. And I made some makeshift hobo gloves like this. Also, I turned them inside out for to make them a bit more presentable. Yeah, it took some time. But yeah, and I had to go through 50 pair of gloves before they got okay, but it was okay in the end. And here is me adding some finishing touches, the standard blush just to make her a bit more beautiful. And my favorite part, the whites of the eye. I'm honestly kind of embarrassed to say it took me until this doll to realize the white dot should be on the same side in both eye, not on opposite sides because that makes them look cross-eyed. Wow. The more you know. Obviously, I had to cut off this annoying piece of string off because I don't see its purpose at all and it's just annoying me, and I feel that without it, the locket looks more authentic, just hanging down. And here is the finished doll. Look at how beautiful she is. Look at her. Look, this. Can you imagine how much effort went into her? This took me 4 years. No, okay, not 4, 2, but still. Look at how amazing she looks. Look at those gloves. Look, this is Anastasia. The hair could be better, I know, but I'm not a hairstylist. I have barely experience with doll hair. It's just the beginning, but otherwise, look how beautiful she is. And I guess this is the end of the video. Until next repaint. Psych! You guys really thought I wasn't gonna make her coat? Come on, you know me. Everything has to be movie accurate. Everything! So, what I did was essentially I got this fabric I had for 5 years and I cut out the stencils and just made the coat. Listen, guys, I'm not a seamstress. I have no fucking clue how to sew clothes for a person, let alone a doll. I've never tried it before, and with this, I knew the coat was not going to be perfect, but I just said, perfect is not my goal here. My goal is just to make her a coat. And I kind of had an excuse as well, because, this is Anastasia's hobo look, so, if the coat looks very hobo-y, then it's more movie accurate and realistic, so that makes it better. And, it's not perfect, but I really like it, and I feel like this is an example of how you can turn a shit into a sweet, because, it looks horrible, but it kind of fits the part. So yeah, this was my Anastasia repaint, my first voiceover video. I hope I haven't traumatized you guys too much with my nasty-ass voice, and I hope you will come back. I really enjoyed working on this doll, despite the difficulties. It was a good learning process, and I love her so much. I can't stop looking at her. If you guys have any ideas who you'd like me to do next, please leave a message in the comments below. And in the meantime, until the next repaint!